Well, John, a couple of hours ago there was a small rally, perhaps about 200 people, behind me here in George Square to listen to a group of political speakers, including the Scottish socialist Tommy Sheridan, but it lacked oomph. Really. Now, Margaret Thatcher was not a popular figure amongst many Scots. She was associated with the decline of the steel industry and the coal industry, and with bringing in the poll tax a year earlier than in the rest of the country. And indeed, the Conservative Party went into huge decline in Scotland during her years in office and subsequently, and has never recovered from that. But I think it's fair to say that the reaction amongst Scots today to her funeral has been broadly one of indifference. There were one or two protest events, parties, wreath layings around the country, particularly in the mining areas. Local councils couldn't make their minds up whether to fly flags at half-mast. They did in Aberdeen, but not here in Glasgow. And I think the protests have not been on the level that we would have seen while she was Prime Minister, or indeed on the level that probably, in a funny kind of way, she would have wanted.
It rained quite heavily all morning in Glasgow, and we found just half a dozen bedraggled protesters here in George Square round the time the funeral was starting in London.
Do you think she did any good?
Not a bit of good, not a bit. I'd put a stake through her heart and garlic round her neck to make sure she never come back.
Isn't that a pretty horrible thing to say when her funeral's going on right now?
Too bad, too bad.
She pulled the ladder up behind herself and never helped another woman ever. So
but didn't she show that a woman could become Prime Minister? Nobody'd done that before.
Do you want a woman like that that's a warmonger and rips the heart out of a country? Is that what you want for a Prime Minister of any sex?
Later in this famous Glasgow bar, punters didn't seem that interested in the funeral coverage. But we found a group of Thatcher fans.
We have just toasted the Prime Minister.
You just toasted her?
Yes.
Oh, why not?
We put glasses together.
Yes, I liked her. OK, base rates went up 17% when you had your business went up 21%. But never mind that, I think she deserves a lot of respect, and I think it's a sad day.
Well, Scotland hasn't quite finished with Lady Thatcher. The Scottish Parliament tomorrow will be holding a debate on the theme, there is such a thing as society, a debate initiated by the 2 Green MSPs and 3 independents. That was due originally to take place today, but the Tories persuaded them to postpone it, so it'll now be for a couple of hours tomorrow afternoon.